What's going on, you guys, and welcome back to.
Whoa!
Oh, look at that! This guy's getting pumped. Oh my! I saw your snap, Vince. You're like, "Oh, should I do it?" It's so tempting, and I was like, I was gonna send you a snap. Do it. From the Star Wars meme.
Little Kermit meme.
Oh, the Kermit meme. Yeah, when you're looking at yourself. Hey guys, how about that football game? Huh? The Bills and Patriots.
Slugfest, man. We called it.
Yeah, we did. I mean,
it was just call it.
Okay. Honestly, I thought the Buffalo Bills were the better team offensively that game, but they just couldn't capitalize on anything. Patriots played really good defense. Like you said, it was just a slugfest. Harris just had a field day, literally a field day, and he just tore it up. I mean, it was good. It was an interesting game to watch, something that you did not want to miss because that hardly ever happens. So, yeah, it was a good watch. Good watch.
For sure. No, yeah, and I almost called my crazy thing with both running backs trying to get 100 yards. I think Ramondre Stevenson was 22 away from 100, and I barely lost in fantasy because Damian Harris got hurt in the beginning of the third quarter.
He got hurt twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nuts. That's nutty. But hey, you guys, we're here to talk about fantasy. Now it's do or die. This is for most of y'all, the last week before playoffs, and over 99%, just a little over 99%, the trade deadline is over. So what you guys have to do is something that we've been mainly focusing on all season long, which is really grind that waiver wire. You got to grind that waiver wire to get that edge against your other players. Now that waiver wire after this week should look a little healthier. The competition should be a little bit less because a lot of people are out of the playoffs. They don't care as much. Some people just give up. You're gonna have those players that just drop their key players just for whatever. And don't be that guy, guys. Don't be that guy who drops Aaron Jones because you're a sore loser and you're like, okay, I want this guy to have an opportunity to win, so I'm gonna drop him. Whatever. Don't do that. That's not cool, especially if you have money involved in the league. But don't ever get caught being that guy. For those of y'all like us who are grinding it out, we got to check out the waiver wires. This is a very important week, and not even if you're a stacked team, even if you're already made in the playoffs, you still want to be making moves. You always want to make moves because if you get certain players, that doesn't allow other people who are fighting you for the championship to get those key players. You get to lock them up. Don't be that guy in the number one spot who has a stacked starting roster, and then your bench is all trash. You don't want that. You should always be looking forward to upgrading your team the best possible lineup out there. So that's what we're here for, right?
Yeah, man. Especially if you are projected to go all the way to the championship, you've been slaughtering your league, and then let's say the teams that you like this guy apparently he thinks he's number one in every league that he's in. But yeah, like right now, like let's say someone gets injured late, or let's say in the last few weeks a team sits some of their key players. Now you're fumbling because your lineup is all screwed up. So make sure that you listen here, see who's coming up, see who could be injury prone or who is already injured, and who to pick up on each team.
Correct. And before we dive into it, we're sorry, Reed. Would you ever say, hey, welcome to our fantasy talk? This is Reed's first fantasy talk. Thank you for being here. And you know what? I got to give credit when credit is due. Reed is doing very well in one of his fantasy leagues. I can't argue with that. He did beat me twice. In two of them, you're doing great in two of them. You did beat me twice in one league, even though both those times were with 2 points or less that you beat me with. But a win's a win, and you
Yeah.
can come up with any excuse in the book. So good job, man. You drafted well in one of your leagues, so that's great. I say that because in our league, which yeah, in one of the leagues, because we were live when we did our fantasy draft, and you were asleep, sir.
That is true, but I did get a good draft.
Oh, yeah, you got a good draft. Anyways, but
That was
yeah,
auto.
in that other league, what place are you in?
In the other league, I'm currently third. In our
Third?
league, I'm second. So I've already
I'm
secured my playoff spot in both.
Smokey the Cat. Welcome back, Smokey the Cat. We appreciate you being here. We remember you from last time, so thank you. Guys, who do we play for playoffs? Russell, Taysom, or Tua week 15? Ooh, week 15 is a good week. And this is it's going to get a little scary because I mean, Vincent could answer the Russell Wilson one because Russell Wilson's been on that downfall, but he is coming up to an easier schedule. The next week, I don't know who they got. I think they have
I think we have
uh
the Rams.
the Rams, but who do you guys have week 15?
The Rams.
Oh, okay,
No.
okay. You guys have the Rams week 15. So for sure, you wouldn't want to place Russell. Taysom is actually someone who I've been wanting to talk about, someone who we're going to talk about today. Taysom Hill, you want to pick that guy up. Okay, if he's available, go get him. Here, I'm gonna adjust something so we don't, chop off Reed's head over here.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm still learning here. I'm still learning with this whole uh producing and all
The
that.
head got chopped off.
Yeah. Oh, we got it all fixed up. So
All
let's
right.
answer Smokey the Cat here. So Taysom, I like Taysom a lot because last week he just broke the verge of 20 points. 20 points. He had 4 interceptions. And he broke 20 points. He had 4 interceptions, broke 20 points, playing against a good defense. But he rushed for 101 yards. Yes, he did suffer through a finger injury, but is that going to stop him? No, he's fully expected to play this next game. And you know him, he plays 110%. Is he going to get 100 yards every single game? No. But he's going to get 4 interceptions every single game? No, sir. He's going to be getting you points every single game. That's what I'm thinking. That should be a start right there. Tua, I like Tua. He's on the up and up, but something just tells me he cannot be consistent when you need him to be, especially when it comes to playoffs. For me, I think Taysom would probably be the safest bet there because he's going to do everything possible to get you those points. And he's that type of quarterback that could vulture touchdowns when you're in the red zone instead of handing it off to Alvin Kamara or Mark Ingram. He's that guy that could rush in there in that 5-yard line and get that touchdown for you. Any thoughts, guys?
I understand what you're saying with the whole rushing yard, being able to get a rushing touchdown. That's huge for a quarterback. But I think there's just too much of an if factor for Taysom. I don't know what you're going to get with him. Yeah, he got 20 points last week with still having 4 interceptions, but I feel like you could have a week where he gets 5 points. Me personally, I would be scared to start him.
Okay, so would you start Russell Wilson or Tua over him?
I would personally start Russell Wilson because I feel like he has a potential to be back to the person he used to be.
Against the LA Rams?
I mean, you don't know what the type of Rams you're going to get.
I mean, I think the Rams have a great defense, especially with the Seattle Seahawks offensive line struggling, especially with all those injuries. I can definitely see them penetrating through and giving Russell Wilson such a hard time.
We'll see, but I don't know. I rather if I'm picking here, I'm taking Russell over Taysom.
Okay, Vince, what you got?
This is my order. I have Russell, and that's it.
Okay, well, clearly I got voted here. So Russell Wilson, in the back stock, I mean, back then, he's a very reliable quarterback. He will do whatever he can do to get the job done, just like what I said with Taysom. But I think the only thing that holds him back is his offensive line. His offensive line is his weak point, and that's going to limit him to how many points he can get. He did finish off with 19 points against the San Francisco 49ers, and that's because the offensive line was just getting demolished majority of the time. So yes, that is a safe bet as well. Taysom, like I said, I'm going to back by it. I do like Taysom a lot, and I think he is going to put up some serious points. Last year, he was top 10 quarterback for fantasy when when Drew Brees was out. And this year, I feel like we're going to have a repeat of that. I don't think he's going to do 4 interceptions bad again. Hopefully we helped you out. But yeah, either Taysom or Russell for sure over Tua. Tua is just too inconsistent, even though he is getting hot right now. He is getting Devontae Parker back, so that's a good sign. But I still think Russell or Taysom is that. You know what? Even with a bad week last week for the Seattle Seahawks, since we watched the whole game, he did have opportunities to get more points. Russell Wilson, there's a lot of turnovers, and it's really not his fault. There was an interception, but the Everett just bobbled it 3 times, so it wasn't really his fault. But going up against the LA Rams, that just kind of scares me. Sorry, that scares me personally.
Well, I'll say this: the last time he played the Rams, he played phenomenal. I think we only lost by 2 points. I forgot how many points he had on fantasy, but there's just something about when he plays the Rams; it's always pretty high scoring. So that's why I think he's over Tua, even though Tua does play the Jets in Week 15. I just don't see Tua capitalizing like I see Russell Wilson capitalizing in Week 15. Just my opinion.
Okay. No. Yeah. That's what we're about, right? We're not here to have the same opinion about every player. So I think that's very good. I think it's very good to have different opinions, different point of views. They're both, similar type quarterbacks when it comes to, but I mean, Russell Wilson has better weapons. I feel like just the offensive line. That's what scares me. You got to go week by week. You got to go matchups here. It's playoff time. It's do or die. If you make a mistake, you're done. If you're in that scenario, if you're already locked into the playoffs, I mean, play a little bit with your extra money, whatnot. But it is what it is. 2K Torres says, play the Dallas Cowboys. I guess he's talking about the Dallas Cowboys defense, because they have been playing decently well. I think in the back matchups, they have a pretty good schedule light ahead of them, don't they?
Yeah, it's Washington, New York, Washington again, Arizona, and then Week 18 is kind of irrelevant, but they play the Eagles. So the last 2 games are hard by NFL fantasy standards.
Yeah. But you know what? If you even have a chance to pick up the Dallas Cowboys, because I think their defense is like rostered in over 80% of leagues. Second, Ross, right behind the Patriots. I doubt you could find them. Smokey says, thanks, guys. That was helpful. I'll keep Russell and Taysom this week and decide based on their performance this week and make a decision for Week 15. And you know what? Some people, they do have a 2 QB format where they have to play 2 quarterbacks in their fantasy football. So that could also be a huge challenge for some people. So that's where I think Taysom Hill could play a huge factor, especially since he's out there and he's available. Some people are straying away from him because the 4 interceptions, but you got to remember, he still put up points. I just think he's gonna be a point machine towards the back half. Will really help you out. But if you're also thinking about different quarterbacks, if you're that type of guy or gal who went out there, needed QB help, and picked up Cam Newton when he came out, and then you're like, holy crap, what did I do? I need QB help still. I got Tyrod Taylor. Oh, shoot. That's bad. If Taysom Hill is not there, you guys, and absolutely no one else is available, and I mean absolutely no one else, one, stay away from Gardner Minshew. Okay, he's not going to start. Jalen Hurts is going to start. The only way Minshew will start is if Hurts is not ready to go. 2, I can't believe I'm going to say this. I really cannot believe I'm going to say this. But if you have no other option, and I mean no other option, Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy G, as yucky and sucky as it might look how he plays, he has a pretty fun matchup line ahead of him, pretty weak defenses. And, for the past 4 weeks, he hasn't put up less than 15 points. And especially against those defense and Deebo Samuel coming back, he will, help you out. He won't hurt you, especially if you're playing that 2 quarterback format position. And if you're really, really hurting, this is a guy named Jake Fromm. You guys know what I'm talking about? The 3rd string quarterback from the New York Giants. Don't pick him up. You shouldn't have any reason to pick him up. Don't pick him up. Don't do it. But if you guys hear that name, don't get fooled. He's not going to do anything. All right, moving on. We hit quarterback with questions. That was pretty good. Okay, let's go to a very fun topic. Let's talk about running backs here. So running backs is like your bread and butter bread. What am I saying? Bread and butter to your fantasy lineup. Okay, those are the guys who are going to make or break your team. Now, I know it's extremely tough to pick up running backs because all of them are taken, all of them are handcuffed, locked up, whatever you want to call it. But there's this one guy I'm super ecstatic for, and he's actually my blue chip player of the week. I haven't done a blue chip in a while. I think it's been a week or two. So I got a blue chip player for the week. Let me hit my notes here because I feel like I always say his name wrong, but his name is Dontrell Hilliard, the running back from the Tennessee Titans, you guys. Dontrell Hilliard, he's been putting up some amazing points ever since Derrick Henry and McNichols got injured. So 2 weeks ago, he had 16 points. Last week, he broke 20 points. And he's sharing the ball 50-50 with Deontay Foreman. But he is getting the catches. He's getting the pass attempts. He will help you out. And he's just an all-star, man. The only reason why Foreman had as many rush attempts as Hilliard is because at the back end, when the Titans were completely destroying, they just ran out the clock. They just run. What's going on, Esther? Appreciate you being here. That's my blue chip player right there. Is Dontrell Hilliard, and if I'm not mistaken, he's only owned in 16% of leagues, and he's only projected to get 4 points. And I'm going to tell you why. Because we do not know where his position stands or his activity within the team when Jeremy McNichols comes back from concussion. If he comes back, you still might want to pick him up just in case. But if he is out, for sure you want to get him. He's getting the touches, he's getting the attempts. And honestly, if he keeps it up, that's an RB3 in your position, a good flex. But that's my blue chip player of the week. I think it's a hidden gem. Vince, you have anything for running backs?
I'll pick his guy that is the number one running back there at the Titans. His name is Deontay Foreman. I think he's going to be the guy you go forward with into the playoffs. Like AJ said, McNichols is probably going to come back from concussion protocol. And when he does, he is probably going to take a lot of carries and catches from both of them, honestly. But I think Deontay Foreman is their power back. He's the guy that they're going to be using from now on, especially since Derrick Henry's out. But I do believe that Dontrell Hilliard is going to be the guy this week who's going to be stacking up the points. So the blue chip player for AJ this week is a go. I have that guy on my list as well. And of course, there's a guy named Chuba Hubbard. He is in like 56% of leagues already. But every time he's gone in to go in for McCaffrey, I think he's been doing well. So I just think you need to pick him up if he's on there. And yeah, those are the only guys I got there because everybody else is picked up. If Freeman's on your waiver wire, pick him up, but I doubt it. I think he's in like 70% of leagues.
69.
How many?
69.
Oh, yeah. See, something about like that right there. But yeah, other than that, all the running backs are either injured or they are on the bench for most players and most leagues.
Yes, another guy to look out for, you guys, who is a silent killer. His name is Sony Michelle, a guy that Vince the Prince picked up and used against me, you know, and just demolished me. I had Henderson on my team, and he was clear to go. I was deceived, guys. I was deceived by the head coach Sean McVay. I was deceived by Stephen A. Smith. I was deceived by Good Morning for everyone. Said that Henderson was a good to go. He's gonna play out there and he's gonna tear it up. They lied.
Yeah, AJ, you should have checked the app. The app said different.
You know what? It hurt. You know, it really hurt. But Sony Michelle, I mean, Henderson, he is expected to be a full go this week against the Cardinals, and you know he's going to tear it up. But that's only if he's a full go. It's a Monday night game, so you're not going to get that notification maybe until Sunday afternoon, Sunday morning, maybe late Sunday, Monday morning. I don't know. But just in case you want to handcuff a player, handcuff Sony Michelle, because if Henderson's not playing, Michelle's going to tear it up. Well, then again, that's tough because they have the Monday night game. So really, what do you do? Do you stay away from them?
Well, I mean, if you have one of them, you should pick up the other one. It's always good to have insurance. But yeah, I picked up Sony Michelle on Saturday before all that stuff came out. I remember AJ talked about him last week, and I was like, maybe I should give this guy a go because I didn't like Tevin Coleman. I didn't like David Johnson. So everybody else I didn't believe in, and I was like, maybe I should believe in this guy. And sure enough, Sunday afternoon, he started and he killed it.
You
And
used them against me.
it's okay, man. It wouldn't have mattered. I had Lime time before the game even started.
Oh, okay. All right. But speaking of handcuffs, you guys, people you might want to handcuff, you got Darrell Williams, Benny Snell, Jeff Wilson Jr., Marlon Mack, Dearness Johnson. That's just a few players. There's one other player, Carlos Hyde. He's very interesting because, yes, he's in the Jacksonville Jaguars, and how we always say, if you have anyone for the Jacksonville Jaguars, you just stop and quit right now. But if Robinson's not a good to go, then Carlos Hyde is taking the whole load of the backfield. He's going to be the bell cow there. So you could potentially, I don't care how bad the offense is, you could potentially see a running back put up some points if he's getting over 20 attempts in a single game. And same thing with Jeff Wilson Jr. If something happens to Elijah Mitchell, he's averaging, 25 attempts a game. Averaging. If something happens to him, where we had a scare of a concussion last week against the Seattle Seahawks, Jeff Wilson Jr. was the next man up. So whatever running back is out there, same deal with Saquon Barkley and Booker, they're going to be the bell cow. You want to find those teams that have a designated running back to take on the whole load. That's why Sony Michelle was so successful, because it was just him.
Mm-hmm.
It was just him.
I know Reed had someone to talk about. You want to talk about him, Reed?
Okay, so I didn't have time to set up for this podcast. So if I'm wrong, you guys can shut me down any moment. But I thought about this, and I was like, wait, there's someone that if I don't believe he's picked up in too many leagues, and I just double-checked, and he's not. He's only owned in 33% in leagues. And the starting running back just got hurt in this last game. So there's a chance that he might be starting this next week. And the last time that happened and this guy started over him, he got 27 points. And that guy's Stevenson on the Patriots.
He's already the starter, Reed.
What?
Much.
Okay, last time he got all the reps.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Him and Damian Harris are 50-50.
Last time he got all the reps, he got 27 points.
Oh, yeah, but Damian Harris is hurt now.
So you should pick him up.
I don't know if you should pick him up. Harris's injury doesn't seem to be what do they call a quote unquote serious injury. So it's not something you could really like linger on. Stevenson, he's still a good pickup. Trust me, he is. He's still a good pickup, especially if you want to handcuff a player as well to keep him on your roster. Because Harris, if he does go out there and play with this lingering injury, could potentially hurt himself even more, leaving room for Stevenson to totally take on that workload. So I think that is a good call there, Reed. If you are struggling with the running back position and you have room on your bench to put a handcuff player on there, that's the guy you want to pick up. I think that's a good pickup.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was just saying that he's already like basically a starting running back because him and Damian Harris split 50-50 for like the past like 2 weeks. But yeah, good pickup. I'm not trying to bash on you, Reed.
No. You hate me.
No, I don't.
Oh my gosh. These guys are going at it because they're going to be facing off against each other this upcoming week. And it's basically a do or die for Vincent, for me as well, to make it into the playoffs. So Vincent has to beat Reed in order to make the playoffs. So that should be fun to watch. The feud here should be kind of fun.
Yeah, we'll update y'all next week on what happens.
Oh man. It's so wild too because both these guys. Oh, look at them! Both these guys are just so confident in each other's teams, which they rightfully should be because they're good teams. They're stacked teams. And Vincent, I mean, he's been scoring outrageous points. Last week he scored over 150, right?
In our
Against
league,
me. Yeah.
yeah. In Muhammad's league, our buddy, I think I scored like 132 or something like that. But yeah, I'm doing pretty well in both right now on the back end. I'm on winning streaks in both.
All right, let's move on to wide receivers. Wide receivers is something to have fun with. Okay, one person I do want to talk about. He is our thumbnail. I want to talk about T. Higgins. He is, in my opinion, not the wide receiver one. He's still the wide receiver two. But teams are now catching on. They're like, okay, this chemistry between Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, it's real. There's something there. There's love in the air. And they're going to stop that. They're double teaming Jamar Chase, leaving T. Higgins to take it all. What Reed? What's up?
It's been terrible for me.
Oh, okay. I thought you were disagreeing with me. Okay,
No,
I was
no,
ready to
no.
fight. I had my hands up, ready to fight here.
No. You're right. You're right.
Oh,
It's been
that's
terrible
worse.
for my fantasy.
Hey, Nestor, can you clip that? Clip him saying that I'm right. Ooh, okay. So this is a good question right here. Very good question, Smokey the Cat. Thoughts on Osborne? You guys feel he's a 1 week play or could have an upside the next few weeks? So this is a really good question. I'm going to tell you why. Adam Thielen is hurt. Adam Thielen has a high ankle sprain, and he's not going to play this Sunday. He is not going to play. That means the wide receiver is number one. It's still Justin Jefferson, but the guy who usually catches all the touchdowns, he's gone. And Osborne, actually have him right here in my notes. I believe I should have him here in my notes. KJ Osborne, yes. So last week he had 7 targets. He caught them for 41 yards and 1 touchdown. I think his numbers are going to increase dramatically just because Adam Thielen is out. Not just him, but also the tight end. What's his name? Compton. Yeah. Tyler Conklin. There you go. So that's a huge factor because Adam Thielen is such a big threat to any defense. And when him and Jefferson are both out there active, it makes it extremely difficult for the defense to focus on one. And usually they focus on Jefferson, double teaming him. Now they're still going to double team him, but leaving Osborne open. Now last week he got 7 targets, and the week before that, I believe he got 8 or 9. Now his targets are going to increase dramatically. It's going to be up to him whether he catches those passes or does anything with it after the catch. But yes, I do think Osborne is a great start this week just because of the fact that Adam Thielen will be out. Even when Adam Thielen is back, I think he could still be a good flex. I feel like he'll still put up some good points just because that offense is just it's all over the place, honestly. But yeah, I don't think he is a 1 week play. I think he'll be good for next week 100%. The week after that, that's where we're getting kind of iffy, but he could be a good flex for your team if you are low on players who could score points. Also, depending if you're in a PPR league or not.
Oh yeah, PPR league is the best for Osborne. He gets a lot of like short catches. Sometimes he'll get like mid range catches, but I think every time that there's been a receiver or a tight end out and Osborne is doing good, he usually gets a touchdown. So he's a pretty good start. I think this week he plays on Thursday against the Steelers, which we will talk about later. So I think he's a start there, and then next week he plays the Bears. So he's definitely a start when he plays next week, especially if those two are still out. So yeah, I like Osborne. I talked about him earlier in the year. I still like him.
You did. You talked about it on our first couple of fantasy podcasts. Nestor said 49ers Seahawks was a crazy game. We don't talk about that, Nestor. It was a crazy game. Honestly, it would have been a lot better than the Kansas City Chiefs and the Broncos game for sure. Screw you, NFL. That's what. Anyways, but yeah, also, shout out to the tight end, Tyler Conklin. I do see him getting some more targets if Adam Thielen is gone. Just last week, he got 9 targets. He said PPR, wide receiver are Deontay, Amari, Gallup, and Parker. I don't like that. I don't like Amari and Gallup in the same.
Yeah.
Honestly, because I had Amari Cooper, and he's been bringing me more bad than good. It's kind of like 50-50 this whole season has just been wild up. Last week, everyone's saying, he's still experiencing symptoms from COVID and stuff. He's not going to do much. He did. He did much. Yeah. he tore it up. Deontay, I think that's a great pickup. He's definitely wide receiver 1 now. Well, he's been wide receiver 1, even with a healthy team. Parker, he is back. I could expect him getting good points. I still think Jalen Waddle's the wide receiver 1 over there. That connection with Tua and Waddle is just it. It is the it factor there in Miami. Parker still be a good flex, not a wide receiver 1, not a wide receiver 2, a good flex. Gallup and Amari Cooper. It's kind of like pick one or the other, right?
Yeah, I think in the matchups that they're about to go up against, I think Gallup is the better play. I know Amari in the beginning of the season was really good at getting on cornerbacks bad side because he was so good at his route running. But now with all the injuries, he's kind of slowed down. He hasn't been the same guy. So I think Gallup benefits from that. So if you're looking for like a 3 wide receiver setup, I would go Deontay, Gallup, and Parker. But Parker you can probably get someone better than him. I think
Osborne.
Yeah, someone like Osborne. I think Gesicki and Waddle are going to take up most of the catches for Tua. And then after that, it's going to go to Gaskin.
Oh, yeah. Me, I would still prefer Cooper because after the whole COVID deal, you did see the Cowboys change up his role a little bit. Like he wasn't so much, go to post, go to deep ball. It was more like his old school self, these quick slants, these just simple stuff, nothing too complex. Don't try to break the defender. CeeDee Lamb, you can tell he's a wide receiver 1. Let all the focus be on him and be the support. I think Cooper, especially in a PPR league, he's going to get some touches. He's going to get some grabs and opportunities to make some big plays. Me personally, I still like Amari Cooper over Gallup. I could see Gallup's production lowering just a smudge. Reed, any thoughts on that one?
The only thing I would do if you're going to keep both of them on your team, look at it from week to week basis. Look at the defense, see which corner gets abused the most, and whoever lines up against that corner or has the best chance of lining up against that corner, start that guy.
Because it's all about matchups.
Yep.
All about matchups, especially now. I know we said this like in every fantasy podcast. It's about matchups, but now it's more than ever when it comes to playoff time or trying to get into the playoffs. This is going to give you the edge over your opponent. Let's say you got all these receivers and you got Osborne on your bench as well. Who has the best matchup against who to give you the most points? They could all be great receivers, which you have all great receivers, but who's going to give you the edge that week? That's why it's very important. I know we talked about this a little bit on who to pick up and who to trade for because they have a favorable schedule during fantasy playoffs. And I know Deebo Samuel was one of them. His schedule in the playoffs for fantasy playoffs is just outstanding. I know Reed has him in the league. He's trying to not smile.
Wait,
who? Deebo Samuel.
Oh yeah, he's been great.
Yeah, I know. Next week they got the Cincinnati Bengals, and then after that they have the Falcons, and then the Tennessee Titans, and then to finish off I think that's the last week, right? The third one, the Houston Texans. Yeah. So they're going to have a field day. So if you got Elijah Mitchell, if you have Deebo Samuel, even if you have George Kittle, even Brandon Ayuk, they should have a jolly good old time there, just depending if Garoppolo wants to play for our team or not.
Yeah.
But
I stole Deebo in the draft.
Yeah. Moving on.
That's true.
There's one receiver, guys, that is being overlooked by all leagues, by everyone out there, and his name is Van Jefferson. Does that ring a bell?
Well, he's the new number 3 there, man.
Is he the new number 3?
I think he is.
Because he's been playing in 98% of snaps and has been getting the second most targets right behind Cooper Kupp. Yeah, so yeah, when you look at a stat sheet, when you look at the team, oh wow, they got Cooper Cup, Robert Woods, he's injured. That's horrible. But then they got OBJ. So you got Cooper Cup, OBJ. Wow, stars in my eyes. They're amazing. But who's that receiver that you get pissed off because they keep throwing the ball and is not your guy on fantasy? That guy's Van Jefferson. That's the guy, and he's getting a lot of those passes. Guys, open your eyes. It's not always about the big names. Look who we just talked about. Osborne. Who the is Osborne? In the beginning of our fantasy podcast, I talked about Hunter Renfro. Who the is Hunter Renfro? Like, these are the guys that you need to go out there and pick out from the waivers, because those guys, Van Jefferson has been consistent. He's been consistent. And if you know me, that's what I like about fantasy football is consistency, because that's what win you games. You don't have to be like, oh, maybe this week he's not going to do so well. Oh, this week he is favored to get more than 15 points. I'm going to start him over the. No, this guy's consistent. He's reliable. Matt Stafford likes that. I like him a lot.
He's
Yeah,
got plenty of opportunity.
yeah, I think almost every game he's been in where he actually gets like passes thrown to him, he has a touchdown, and it's usually a long touchdown. He's one of those guys that they put him on a post, or sometimes it's like on a long slant. Just depends on what they're running, and he always scores. He's fast, he's agile, and he's I don't know. He just scores every time they throw the ball to him, pretty much. But two other guys I like to talk about. AJ loves this guy, Russell Gage. I don't know why people still haven't picked him up. He's in 18% of leagues. Last week he scored 22 points. The week before that, 18. And he's going up against a tough matchup in Carolina, but he's not the number one receiver. So
amazes me.
He's going to do great again. And then a guy that everybody overshadows because he's old and he's on the Jets, Jameson Crowder. He's been doing pretty well lately. He's pretty consistent. He's got one of the best next 3-game matchups anybody could have. He plays New Orleans, who's ranked 28th, Miami 29th, and Jacksonville, who's ranked 26th. So I see him getting pretty good touches. I don't know, man. I think I'll make it.
Yeah, and if you don't make it, then I will make it. And remember, Muhammad, I think you have, 4 or 5 losses, and 2 of those came from who? Oh, you better hope I don't make it. Oh, you better. I don't have a bad team. Go look at my roster. I got a beautiful, beautiful team. Just unfortunate events. But that's okay. I'm in 3 leagues. I feel very confident. I'm super excited, actually. Honestly, I really hope I do make the playoffs in that league. I feel like I do have a good chance. I mean, I got receivers like what's that guy from the Packers? I freak out. I got Devontae Adams. I got Jefferson on one team. I got Henderson, Nick Chubb. I got Gronkowski. I got a stack. I got Patrick Mahomes, who's been inconsistent. It cost me a few games, but that team alone, just listening to it, that's a stacked team. They just never been on the same page, and that's what happens. That's what fantasy football is. But I hate talking about Russell Gage, Vincent. I feel so bipolar talking about him because I used to be his biggest fan, man. I was his biggest fan. Then the week after that, he got 0 targets, 0 yards, 0 touchdowns. And then after that week, he got 20 plus points. Then the week after that, he got 0 yards, 0 targets, 0 touchdowns. And now he's going on a 3-week freaking killing spree. He's tearing it up. And honestly, you're right. He is not the wide receiver number 1. The wide receiver number 1 is Kyle Pitts, the tight end, the rookie sensation, where if you're looking at a defensive perspective, the defensive coordinator is not going to be like, hey, guys, let's back off of Kyle Pitts here. Let's back off of that guy, and let's double team Russell Gage. You're not going to hear anyone say that. Okay, Kyle Pitts, he is really good. He's amazing. I have him on my fantasies, but that's basically the only weapon that they have in receiving core that they just cover him up big time. Cordero Patterson, he's amazing. He does great, even though Mike Davis gets the majority of the snaps. He is that backfield target passer. But Russell Gage is like that Van Jefferson guy. He's the guy that's going to be getting the targets. And he's actually really good about the yards after catch. So after he catches that ball, he gets a pretty good, decent yardage. So look forward to him. I don't want to promote him too much because I feel like every time I do, it just bites me in the butt. But he is out there. He's available. So if you're in need of a wide receiver that could put up some major points, that's it right there. And for all you, that reminds me of something. That reminds me of another wide receiver, Mike Williams. For all you Mike Williams owners out there,
start him. You
got to start him this week. It is his time. Keenan Allen, he is out, I think, through COVID. Keenan Allen is out through COVID. Mike Williams is going to be the money cow right there, the bell cow. Smokey the Cat says, talk about consistency. I was projected to finish 11th based on Yahoo projection after draft. I hate Yahoo, by the way. It was my first fantasy. I am now sitting 8-5 in third place with, yes, the second to the last points total. It's all about matchups, dude. I got a lot of points in that league, and there's a possibility where I don't even make playoffs. It happens. It's all about who you play up against and how those players are doing. All about matchups. That's what we've been talking about. But yeah, man, congratulations. Hopefully you do well in the playoffs, man. I really hope you can make it. Hopefully we could help you out. I know we helped some people out in the past, so I appreciate everyone who's watching. Appreciate you being here, Mohammed, Smokey the Cat, Nestor, Torres. Appreciate all of you guys. Smokey the Cat, I think we met, was it 2 weeks ago, right? He joined our podcast, asked us a question, liked what we said, and look at him now. 2 weeks later, hopefully soon we'll say, hey, look at us now, a month later. But oh man, but it's been a journey, you guys. It has been a journey when it comes to quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, even tight ends. This year has been fun. After everything that's happened, what I could take away from it, that it has been fun. In these fantasy leagues, even if you don't make the playoffs, live and learn from it. Learn what you did wrong. Did you not listen to your gut? Did you listen to your gut? Did you not look at matchups? Did you not hit the waiver wire? Did you just trust your draft picks? Pay attention to all of that, all the injuries, all the COVID stuff now, sickness, illness. Don't always follow the year before, because this year, people like Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes, they cost people a lot of games. It happens. We didn't even talk about bye week. We got 4 teams on bye weeks: Colts, Dolphins, Eagles, Patriots.
Yeah, man, it's a lot of people. A lot of good teams with a lot of good players too. So it's affecting me for sure. I had to make a lot of moves last week and going into this week. I made most of them last week so I could prepare myself. But yeah, there's 2 tight ends I want to talk about. And AJ, you should take this into account, especially if you want to make it into Muhammad's playoffs. There's this guy. I know you had Logan Thomas. He tore his ACL, I believe. ACL or MCL, can't remember. But I know we loved Ricky Seals-Jones so much, and I would say pick him up. But if I did, I'd be screwing you. There's this guy named John Bates. He's their 3rd string. He's been looking like the guy to take away from Ricky Seals-Jones, especially since he's not cleared to play yet. I forgot his injury exactly. I think it was a knee injury as well. But John Bates is going to be that guy. Apparently, they like what they see in practice for him. So he's on the Washington football team. I say pick him up because when Logan Thomas got hurt and there was nobody behind him, he was in for, I believe, a quarter and a half. He got 4 targets, 3 catches, 42 yards, and he had 7.2 points. So he's going up against the Cowboys. Cowboys aren't too good against tight ends. The only guy they got to look out for is Parsons. So I think he's good. And a guy that is now in 45% of leagues, a lot of people have been taking him off the board, Pat Freiermuth. I like this guy. He's been super consistent since he played us in week 6. I believe he only has 2 times where he doesn't score more than 10 points in that span. So that's another guy for tight ends. That's what I think you guys should pick up if you need a tight end at this point in time.
Sweet. You know me, I always like when you talk about tight ends. And what I like to talk about. I like to talk about defense. And if you're like me, I switch out my defense every single week just because I like to play the matchups and I don't believe in holding on to one defense, even though it's helped lots of people like Vincent here with the Indianapolis Colts making some money moves there. People have the Patriots, or people have what do we just talk about? People have
Cowboys.
the Cowboys. Yeah. See, I understand that. That's all fine and dandy. But when you're talking about drafting, it's hard to find or predict a defense that's going to be that good. That's really tough. Okay, but yeah, you predict. Okay, you got it. You got it, man. You got it. You like
2
that
years in a
DeForest
row, bro.
Buckner there. You okay? You
2 years in
good.
a row.
But this week, these are the matchups that I like. With my number one spot, this is showing a little love right here, Muhammad. I'm talking about the New Orleans Saints against the New York Jets. I've always liked the Saints defense. I feel like their defense has always been solid. Their defensive front, strong. I think they're just going to shut them out. And the Jets are still trying to find themselves, guys. After all this time, they're still trying to figure it out. They haven't done so. But yeah, after that, I have the Green Bay Packers. Now, this is why I have them so high. They are going up against the Chicago Bears. I do feel like it's going to be a little bit of a tough game because it is a divisional game. Packers are still going to win. But I like their schedule moving forward. Their schedule moving forward, after the Bears, they got the Baltimore Ravens, who just can't seem to get it together. Lamar Jackson, he is not that guy who could carry a team on his back. He's been making too many mistakes. He's averaging at least an interception a game. So yeah, I like that matchup. After that, they have the Cleveland Browns, who again just fell apart. Literally Browns. And then after that, they have the Vikings, which I don't think they're going to lose to the Vikings. Not. You want to talk about the Seahawks?
Yeah, bro, they're facing the Texans.
Okay, yeah, I was actually going to talk about the Seahawks. That was going to be my last pick. Okay, if you guys know me, I do 4 picks for defense. Seattle is going to be my number 4, just because I don't trust them. I don't trust. It's not that because I don't like them, it's because I don't trust them. But we look at the Houston Texans. They're not even a football team anymore.
Oh my gosh, dude!
It is bad. It is bad. They got blown out 3 times this year. Blown out. 0 points. What the? They don't. That's it, man. Seattle Seahawks. That's my 4th.
Okay.
And my number 3, the Tennessee Titans going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Titans, they've been struggling a little bit, but I don't think they're gonna get any pushback from the Jaguars. But yeah, that's my top 4 right there. Hopefully they're available. I know in all 3 of my leagues, at least one of those 4 are available, even more than one. I know in one league I'm trying to get the Packers, and another league I'm trying to get the I believe I chose the Titans over the Seattle Seahawks. And I know
Mistake.
it could be.
It is. Jaguars are gonna demolish. Watch. You're gonna get like 4 points max.
Okay. Reed, do you have anything to add?
No, not really. No.
Well, guys, we know it's a little bit late today. We're trying to do this live because, we've been getting some good feedback from Fantasy Talk. So we appreciate every single one of y'all being here. Smokey the Cat, we appreciate you coming back. Muhammad, thank you for listening in. Safety for you, Nestor. Israel Thodas, thank you for being here. Everyone on Twitter, big shout out to y'all guys. Thank you so much. Facebook Faithfuls. Appreciate it. But guys, the giving season is coming. We got some big plans coming up, so stay tuned because we're going to release some info hopefully next week. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys get involved because, like I said, it's going to be fun. But yeah, thank you so much. Before we go, we got one more. It says, should we keep Miami for week 15? Thanks, guys. Miami for week 15?
They play the Jets. Keep them.
Okay. How do you get that so fast?
Oh, I know the matchups for 15 for some games.
But yeah, you keep
AJ,
that.
AJ.
Oh,
before we go,
yeah,
you know what we got to talk about, don't you?
No.
Thursday, bro.
No, we did not do it for the past 3 weeks. I don't want to ruin it.
We did it last week.
Yeah, you guys did it last week.
Really?
Yeah, because I caught you Trying to get out of it again.
Again, right? Okay. Last things. Okay.
Do
We
it quick.
got the Pittsburgh Steelers going up against the Minnesota Vikings. You guys, as you guys always know, we always do our game predictions and a score prediction and whatnot. But yeah, if you guys are in the comment section, let us know who you think is gonna win Thursday night football. We'll put a poll up. Actually, this guy right here, Reed McCall, will put a poll up. He's our poll guy on Twitter. So if you guys don't have us on Twitter, go ahead and add us. We are right here at NSP Football Talk. Find us on Twitter. We're gonna release a poll out to Thursday, and sorry, I'm all over the place. I've been working Thursday, so make sure you go and get involved in that. We usually have a lot of people do so, but yeah. So, Reed, you'd like to start off, so go ahead.
Sure. And with my pick, I'm also picking something else. So,
Okay.
I got the Steelers winning, and with that, the Packers will beat the Bears and clinch the NFC North. Go Steelers.
You going for the Steelers, dude?
Yeah.
Must be nice to have a crappy division.
Hey.
Do you know there's a
we swept your division, so I'm not too scared.
Who swept our division?
We did.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, that's okay. Y'all are a good team. I'm talking about the rest of your league,
It's not our fault.
your division. Sorry.
Well, at least
True.
we beat the Vikings.
We
The
didn't.
Vikings beat the Seahawks.
Yeah. Hey, Vikings are good, man.
Yeah,
They just can't keep it going week to week. Ooh, Smokey the Cat says Steelers. I like this guy because he knows exactly what me and Reed are talking about.
What's going on?
27,
What's
24.
happening?
Yeah,
Whoa.
Same score.
What is happening, you
That's
gues?
the first final on MSP, right?
Yeah, it's the first time anybody has had the same exact score. But yeah, I got them winning 27-24. I'll show that nice little emblem here for one of our fans named Nestor. He's a Steelers fan. I'll send him a picture of it. Yeah, whose is better?
I did mine from memory. I didn't look.
I like the three little glimmers.
I couldn't remember how big they were.
Oh no, they're big, bro. They take up 3/4 of the entire thing. Hey, but I like it, Reed. I like it.
For some reason, I thought Steelers was underlined.
Oh no, I don't think so.
I don't know.
I think it's just like
I
in most emblems, it's bolded, like really big. But I didn't feel like doing that.
I think mine is better than theirs.
You should send it to Pittsburgh. See what they say.
I think they'll like it.
See if they plaster it on one of their hats.
We're really stalling for AJ here.
Oh yeah,
you guys are gonna make fun of me here. Okay, I tried to do this real quick because I totally forgot about this. I got the Vikings here.
Hey,
I got them winning 32-27. I literally did this so quick. It reminds me of the offseason when we guessed the Washington team new logo. That was fun. We should do something like that again. But yeah, I got the Minnesota Vikings winning 32-27 with Jefferson just tearing it up, having another 30+ fantasy game.
Okay.
That's my bold prediction. 30+ point fantasy game for Jefferson with Adam Thielen gone.
Okay, my bold prediction is Roethlisberger scores more than 20 points on fantasy.
Ooh, that is pretty bold.
Mm-hmm.
Tell you what, do you think that Roethlisberger will score more points than Taysom Hill?
No.
Reed?
I don't know. I just don't trust Roethlisberger that much.
Yeah, me neither. That's why mine was a bold prediction.
Okay.
Not a death sentence.
Oh man, okay, that was fun. Hey, appreciate everyone being here, everyone asking us questions. Thank you all so much. If you do have a fantasy question before the night ends, because we know waivers get processed tomorrow for most leagues, shoot us a DM at NSP Football Talk on Twitter. We're on Facebook. Hit our email at notsoprofootballtalk at gmail.com. There we go. But appreciate every one of y'all being here. Until next time, you guys, we'll see you guys on the waiver wire, and good luck on the playoffs.